This is CBN NewsWatch.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm George Thomas. President Trump has signed a directive ordering National Guard troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. The president says illegal crossings into the United States have reached a point of crisis. Gary Lane has the story.
It was this mass movement of Central Americans traveling through Mexico to the U.S. and frustrations over a lack of congressional funding of a border wall that led President Trump to authorize tougher measures. The president said the United States has had very bad laws for the border, and in addition to building a wall, he intends to do something else.
We're going to be guarding our border with the military. That's a big step. We really haven't done that before, or certainly not very much before.
Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama sent National Guard troops to the border, but only in a limited role, providing surveillance and support for the U.S. Border Patrol. Anything beyond that would require congressional approval. Federal law prohibits use of active duty troops for law enforcement inside the United States. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen says National Guard troop numbers are still to be worked out with southern border state governors. But some guardsmen could be in place as early as today.
It will be strong. It will be as many as is needed to fill the gaps that we have today.
Border state governors, not the federal government, will control the Guard in their states. And border state governors largely supported the president's decision. The U.S. Border Patrol also backs the president's action.
It's something that's needed, especially out here in Arizona, where we're still responsible for close to 50% of all the drug seizures in the entire country. It's a big deal to have that extra eyes so the agents can take the time to patrol, the areas of the field.
And the president wants Mexico to do more to prevent illegal crossings into the United States. He said it'll be a big part of renegotiations of NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement.
We're going to have a relationship on NAFTA. We're going to have to include security in NAFTA.
So the president's border security plan is shaping up. For now, it includes building part of a new border wall, along with security measures required in a new NAFTA agreement, and a wall of troops along the border. The cost to taxpayers? No dollar amount at this time, but when Presidents Bush and Obama took similar actions in 2006 and 2010, that total price tag came in at more than $1 billion. Gary Lane, CBN News.
Thank you, Gary. Here's a look at some of the other headlines we're following in the CBN newsroom. Thousands of people across the U.S. packed the streets to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Wednesday was the 50th anniversary of King's death. Among the largest gatherings was a march through Memphis, where King was shot and killed. YouTube is boosting security at all their offices after a woman shot 3 people on Tuesday. YouTube says Nasim Agdam gained access through a parking garage before shooting people at an outdoor courtyard. The company says she never got access inside the building. They've pledged to ramp up security worldwide. Facebook now says the data firm Cambridge Analytica gained unauthorized access to up to 87 million users' data. This number is higher than the first 50 million reported. The news comes just a week before CEO Mark Zuckerberg will testify before Congress. Facebook says they will make several changes to address users' concerns. You can find these and other stories at cbnnews.com. Well, for the first time, the Department of Homeland Security has confirmed that it has detected evidence of mobile snooping devices in and around Washington, D.C. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Rosales has more on the discovery and what it means to national security.
When we make a phone call with our cell phone, we don't think others are listening to our conversation. But with the help of these devices called Stingrays or cell site simulators, anyone can listen in. Now the Department of Homeland Security has acknowledged it's found several here in the D.C. metro area. For those working in government, that means the enemy could be listening in and learning our secrets. The issue came to light after Department of Homeland Security responded to a recent inquiry from Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden. CBN News obtained the letter DHS top cybersecurity official Christopher Krebs sent back to the senator, confirming that DHS has detected activity consistent with these devices. Krebs said DHS has observed anomalous activity in the National Capital Region that appears to be consistent with international mobile subscriber identity catchers. The letter goes on to say the Department of Homeland Security has not been able to pinpoint who's behind them. It is a concern. I think as a guy that used to serve in the intelligence community and in the armed services, I always knew that my cell phone could be monitored, perhaps even by my own government for security reasons, but really from intelligence organizations, primarily Russia, China, variety of other countries out there. Representative Don Bacon sits on the House Homeland Security Committee. He says with thousands of members of the military, the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, and the rest of the national security community living and working in the Washington area, finding these units in D.C. is a threat to U.S. national and economic security. Most people know not to talk about secrets on their cell phone, but a lot of times you still give away secrets through a roundabout way. You're talking about your schedule, meetings that you're having. The device, which could easily be hidden in a van, works by essentially acting as a fake cell phone tower. As cell phones connect to them, the device opens the door for others to snoop on conversations. The Federal Communication Commission, which regulates the nation's airwaves, formed a task force on the subject some 4 years ago, but it never produced a report and no longer meets regularly. So what can be done? Shutting down rogue stingrays is an expensive proposition that would require wireless network upgrades. DHS officials say it would need more funding and resources to develop the ability to detect the use of these devices in a particular area. By the way, every embassy worth its salt has these listening devices installed on its roof. Homeland Security sources tell me the Russians' equipment is so powerful it can track a cell phone about a mile away. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.
Thank you, Eric. Religious practice in China is tightly controlled by the government there. Now, Bibles have been pulled from online stores across the country. According to CNN, online searches for the Holy Bible did not garner any results. JD.com, Amazon.com, and Taobao, China's biggest online marketplace, did not include the Bible. They did, however, include study guides and the Quran. China, by the way, recognizes 5 religions: Buddhism, Islam, Catholicism, Protestantism, and Taoism. Fascinating report coming up. Hurricane season is still a few months away, but Puerto Rico is still recovering from the last one. We'll show you how Christians are helping the island get back on its feet. Welcome back to CBN News. The island of Puerto Rico took a massive hits last fall when it was struck by 2 deadly hurricanes in just 1 month. Today, it's racing the clock to rebuild before the next hurricane season, which starts in June. Heather Sells recently visited the U.S. territory and brings us this look at a key player in its recovery, the church.
Puerto Rico is still on the road to recovery, but many are giving churches and faith-based groups a lot of credit for what has happened so far and what's still needed.
Churches and faith-based groups, they have been really great. They were actually the first in line when the storm hit.
Ferocious Hurricane Maria blasted Puerto Rico September 20th, just 2 weeks after Hurricane Irma. Within hours, it flooded the island, destroyed businesses, and knocked out 80% of the power lines. For Rolando Torres and his neighbors outside of San Juan, it meant losing their homes. Everything changed, he said. The untold story after Maria, however, centers around the church. It was local believers and faith-based groups quickly responding to the needs.
The first responders were really not the government. It was the churches, it was young pastors, young church planters, all over the place, just working together.
They were like troops on the ground. They were searching for people. They were helping. They were distributing food that they already had.
The needs after Maria were massive and compounded by the constraints of a Puerto Rican government that only 4 months before had declared bankruptcy. Today, the island can best be described as fragile. Even in San Juan, the destruction from Maria is painfully obvious. Across Puerto Rico, downed lines remind everyone of continuing power problems. Thousands don't have running water, and an untold number of homes still need a roof. The Puerto Rican government believes the federal government has ripped it off.
We are being treated as second-class U.S. citizens. I guarantee you that if Massachusetts, if Florida had a power outage like we had in Puerto Rico, in 3 months top, it would be 100% again.
Faced with this slow recovery and another hurricane season quickly approaching, the role of churches and faith-based groups becomes even more critical. Without them, many, like Rolando and his family, have nowhere to turn.
Communities like this have struggled to rebuild because most residents don't have the correct paperwork to show that they own their property. And without that paperwork, FEMA will not help.
In Rolando's neighborhood, Operation Blessing is rebuilding homes. Rolando says without the help, he and his family would be in the streets. In other communities, it's supplying water filters to ensure clean drinking water. Local churches like Pastor Gabriel's continue to distribute food and water. And teams from the mainland, like the Southern Baptist North American Mission Board, are working across the island.
I think a lot of people are really getting a heart for Puerto Rico and saying, we want to be here and be involved.
David Melber, the board's head of relief, says he expects many young people who come here will have a transformative experience.
College students will go serve in an area, get a heart for the people, and many of them will say, you know what, after college, I'm going to get a job among those people or in that city, and I'm going to plant my life there.
And it's not just physical help provided by these groups. Albertorio calls the faith community our extended arms.
They help us with a word of faith, with a word of hope, and they help not only reconstruct the material side, but they help reconstruct the spiritual side, the emotional side of our community, and that's a home run for us.
That home run is something desperately needed. As islanders prepare for a hurricane season, some forecasters already predict will be a bad one. Reporting in San Juan, Heather Sells, CBN News.
PGA golfer Marc Leishman is in Augusta this week for the Masters tournament, along with his wife Audrey, who nearly died 3 years ago. Her miraculous recovery gave birth to a moment to help others who cannot afford the care they need to survive.
Leishman at 10, dialed in.
You are a professional golfer ranked in the top 20 in the world.
Marc Leishman, this is 17. Needs it for par. He has it from above the hole. So Leishman holding steady at 11 under.
How does that all start for you? When do you begin golfing?
I played all sports growing up in Australia. Played cricket, Australian rules, football, golf, surfed, tennis, anything with a ball I loved. So I was just the best at golf and enjoyed that the most. Turned out to work out pretty well for us.
Now Leishman for birdie. He's going to close it out with another one. Why not?
Audrey, what's your relationship to golf?
Him. When I met Mark, I didn't know a birdie from a bogey. I've since definitely learned a lot about golf.
Let's roll back to 2015. Are you at the Masters? What's happened? What happens?
Yeah, I was down there the week before just for a practice round, and then I guess you get the phone call that almost changes your life. It was a pretty scary moment with all the stuff that happened with Audrey. Had to withdraw from the Masters. When you're going through a moment like that or a time like that, it's you need to be where Audrey needs. Well, she really needed me. My kids, there was certainly more important things to do here than be playing a golf tournament.
So you were diagnosed with what?
Sepsis, toxic shock syndrome, and acute respiratory distress syndrome.
That's almost 3 years ago now. Take me back to when you realized something was wrong.
I was having some stomach issues, thought it was just a stomach flu, lay in bed, rest, recover. That's what I anticipated. I started to get weaker throughout the day, and everyone kept telling me to go to the doctor. At that point, I was running a 102 fever, and my nose started to bleed spontaneously, and that was when I finally started to get a little bit scared. I'll never forget the nurse, after taking my vitals, pushed her chair back, put a mask on, and said, "You're very sick." We later found out that if I hadn't gone to the ER that night, there was a very good chance I wouldn't have woken up the next day. And they made the decision to put me in a coma. I bargained with the doctors. It was about 5 in the morning when they put me into the coma, and I said, "Just can I wait till 7? Can we wait till 7? Because that's when my boys will be up." I wanted to talk to them so badly, and it was hard. I fought them on it. Marc had to make some really tough calls, and but luckily, by the grace of God, I made it through.
Absolutely. You guys feel like you're looking at a miracle?
Yeah, for sure. You know, she wasn't, the odds were heavily weighed against her. When they took her off the breathing machine and all that, off the life support, and as we do that, the curtain had been about this far up, so just let a little bit of light in every day, and it's on a chain, a heavy chain, hard to move. As all the doctors were walking out the door, the curtain just falls down, falls about this far, and just bangs on the ground, and we look at each other. It still gives me goosebumps. And I look at the doctor, and he's like, I'm like, "What was that? How'd that happen?" He goes, "I think that was her guardian angel going out the window." You know, I think, yeah, it was our boys certainly needed their mum, and she wanted to be around for it. So I think, you know, our little girl Eva, we call her our miracle baby, because one, Audrey didn't look like she was going to be around, and now we've got a beautiful little girl who's, you know, going to take after her mum.
What's sustaining both of you during that time?
My kids, my husband. I knew I needed to be here for them.
I think not being able to say goodbye to the kids if things didn't go well, that was part of her, a factor of her surviving, I think. She was, and then, I mean, for me, I was, you know, thinking, what's life going to be like with you know, growing up, kids growing up without a mum, me growing up without a wife, how am I going to raise 2 boys? All the while I'm still trying to be positive, thinking, well, you know, she can get through this, but it wasn't looking good. We pretty much got told that she was going to die. So, you know, you go through that, and then she comes out the other side, and you just have a completely new perspective on life. It's pretty awesome. You know, you don't worry about the small things. You appreciate all the little things, that, like, you know, hugging your kids, and I still do, for sure. So that's a positive that's come out of it, along with, you know, a few other things. You know, we've started a foundation, and we've helped a lot of people, and you know, I feel like this happened to Audrey because she was strong enough to survive it, and she was the person that was, if she did survive it, wanted to help a lot of people.
I needed to find a purpose. My previous jobs, I had been in service and working to help other people, and once I gave that up, there was a hole in me. And that's something that I've been able to fill with the Beginning End Foundation. We've helped over 2,000 people in just under 3 years. And I can feel proud about that, knowing that we are touching lives and we are spreading awareness, and hopefully by doing that we'll be saving lives.
Let's talk about the foundation. Where was that idea born in your heart? What happened that you said, okay, this is what I can do, this is how I can give back?
Well, when I was being discharged, the nurse came in and she said, "This is how much the antibiotics will cost, your home health care." She went through all of it and then said to me, "Is that okay?" And I remember thinking to myself, well, what if it wasn't okay? What if we couldn't afford it? And so that's where our idea of giving out grants to survivors came from. So we give one-time $1,000 grants that can be used towards whatever their most pressing needs are. And the median household income of the families we're helping is less than $12,000 a year. It fills my heart to know that we are even easing someone's stress for one day.
And you're using golf as well to help.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Our Celebrity Classic, that's our main fundraiser, and you know, being a golfer, it seemed like a pretty natural fit to have a golf tournament to raise some money, and got a lot of great players coming in this year, people from all around the world that are coming in and help us raise money for people who really need it.
Researchers are now saying they know the precise image of what Jesus looked like on this earth. Teams in Italy used a shroud of Turin to bring his image to life. The 14-foot linen cloth is believed to have wrapped the body of Jesus Christ after the crucifixion. Now, after 20 years of studying the shroud, researchers have unveiled a 3D carbon copy of Jesus. They say the statue is a three-dimensional representation of the actual size of the man on the shroud. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.